Yo, 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 it's the Claymore Minotaur, JJ, back at it again. Like, literally, again. This is the second time I've had to load this bad boy up because Share Factory, again, decided to chief me like Bloodborne or Dark Souls or this game right here and delete my sound clip data for no reason whatsoever. Anyway, we're right at the beginning now. Just have to dodge those optic blasts. They're relatively easy to dodge. They're telegraphed quite easily, and there's like a slight turn to the left. You just have to move out of the way and charge in and get your attacks in. Simple enough. Simple enough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fill this entire 15 minutes with speech, especially as I already did so, and then it decided that it was going to delete all the goddamn data. So I'll try and keep it simple for you. We're gonna have to do it a little bit differently just because these videos are a little bit long. I've had to change my approach somewhat. That close quarters battle there was relatively simple. This second wave of attacks, beware of the purple energy balls because they home. The translucent orange ones I don't think can be deflected or destroyed, so they are to be avoided straight up. And otherwise you just have to keep moving. They can be the purple ones, pardon me, can be destroyed using your own energy ball, so that is something to take into consideration. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but you can shoot the pillars, not all of them, but you can shoot the pillars, and that will draw the strap towards the pillar to give you some free damage. The same thing I'm sure you saw earlier, activated it by accident pretty much. Those panels on the floor in the middle will attract this strap, so you can get some free damage in. Otherwise, for this stage, you just have to do your best to avoid the homing attacks. Watch out for these attacks destroying the walls and catching you slipping. That is a running theme throughout this battle, and do not be afraid to get in some of those melee attacks. Now with this here, we have the area of effect attack. No problem, just stay out of its area. We have the optic blast, which again, no problem. That charge attack it does, and obviously the telegraphed spin move optic blast. The charge attack that it does has some very specific timing, so you need to be very careful with the timing. I obviously can't tell you what the timing is. I don't have frame data. I'm not sure it's even entirely necessary, but just do what you feel. There is a certain element of rhythm involved in this game. It's like you got some parappa the rapper Jamalami stuff going on here. But yes, it seems in this stage it breaks out the energy scythe and tries to hit you with a few of those melee attacks. Obviously we've got that optic blast, which is telegraphed enough that you can see it coming. With these attacks we've got those hard knockdowns, which obviously means that if you get hit with one, then the combo's over. You have no chance to continue drawing energy from recovering quickly enough to absorb that damage. So I think it's 3 attacks, and then that last one has a bit of a break on it. Obviously you saw me holding that L and not timing it right, but you know, you've got the description. Now it's up to you to find the rhythm, which I obviously haven't there. But in these situations it becomes a war of attrition. Whoever can deplete that energy bar fast enough, and there it is, using some of those quick projectile attacks. Now we're back in that CQC mode. Only 2 hits with the scythe there, and you're able to grab that energy, and you can see the telegraphed optic blast there. Get out of the way of the telegraph swipe, and it's pretty easy damage. It's free damage, and we're on to the next stage. Oh, so it looks like one more attack has been added to the melee combo. We have another optic blast, and you can obviously try just straight avoiding those or hiding behind pillars, but just be aware that the pillars and the walls can be broken down. So pick one, combine the two. There's nothing really wrong with that. This attack I didn't see too often. Right there, I dodged in the wrong direction, and then as you can see, I summoned the strap by pressing that square panel on the floor. So here we go, able to get a little bit of energy back. I think that last swipe is slightly faster than the rest of them, and there it is. Some free damage, timed it just right. And once again, I shot at, that was purely accidental, but I shot at one of the pillars that can be activated, and it drew the strap to them, and here we are. I was able to do a nice little counter there, dealing a decent bit of damage, and we're back again. Avoid that optic blast, and we're good to go. Only allowed me to get 2 attacks that time, while I absorbed both of those, and there we are, the next stage. The strap frees herself, and she's mobile now. I think this is a point where I actually had to go out and find her. I'm not entirely sure what the rhyme or reason is to this. I don't know if there's a particular place that she hides out, but try and cover the ground as quickly as possible, and if you can, call her out, summon her using those square panels on the floor. Once again, we have the purple energy balls which home. If you can do your best to get behind some kind of wall to avoid them, or you can shoot them out or tank them. They don't really do that much damage, but in a massive group, when you're taking a combination of all of them, you're gonna have a bad time. So once again, we got those optic blasts which leave the strap nice and open. You can get in some free damage. The melee attacks are different now. There's no weapon, there's just movement of the body. It's more subtle, so it would appear that it's that little bit more difficult to time your defense of these attacks. You see here how I dealt with the, oh yeah, watch out for the shockwaves, easy enough to dodge. Watch out for the walls crumbling, and those purple energy balls making their way through. Now, if it wasn't for me teleporting my darn self down into that pit, I think I would have had this on lock, but hey, that's why this video is so long, because I've had to hold a L of 1 or 2 life bars in this, and again, I have to go find the strap, and I'm not sure if I've got any panels. I do have a panel, but she wasn't having it. She's not falling for it this time. So I'm going to have to find her the old-fashioned way, by zipping around the actual labyrinth until she reveals herself, and there it is. She catches me, I get caught slipping with a QTE. Does no damage to me, it does a tiny slither of damage on the strap, but here I am still getting that Cyclops optic blast. So same strategy applies as before. Timing, dodging. Comes a shockwave, relatively easy to dodge. You can get some free damage, hard knockdown. Gives you some time to reposition yourself. I should probably try using the, ooh, she swings the optic blast back and forth that time. But I should probably try using the charge laser to deal with the abundance of homing energy balls that I used. And once I get through those, I think this is about to be the shockwave. Timed it terribly. But once you get through those, you're good to go with the free damage. Now this one's cutting it close. If I do manage to make it into the CQC mode, which I did with well-timed cutscene attack, or counter and cutscene attack. That attack right there is very difficult to dodge, but it is entirely possible. Once again, quick dodge of the optic blasts leaves herself wide open, and you can get most of your combo. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be that time either. Nonetheless, we have to repeat the same stage again. Same strategy applies. Go find her, avoid attacks, absorb health and damage if you can, and bring down that health. Here we go, I summoned her. Now she has to hold the full wrath of the 4-hit combo. I dispersed the purple energy balls, just go in as quick as I can. I don't know why that last hit missed. It's like, come on, do you really have to be that accurate in this game? Or do you just desire to chief me over and over again? Video games in general. See, that one slipped through by just being overly powerful. Just broke through the wall. Again, same strategies as before. Avoidance, block, counter, shoot if you have to. Avoid the shockwave, free damage, and we're back in again. Have to watch for that jump. The timing is insane, but I managed to luck it by mashing buttons. And once again, the strap leaves herself open, but that 4-hit melee, switching things up a little bit, caught me slipping just on the outside of that optic blast there. Now, I think the strap then goes on to freak out and the bullet hell actually begins. Now we've got some of the homing energy blasts coming in from the side, making things kind of awkward, but if you stand far enough ahead, they won't give you too much of a problem. However, as you can see, I am holding serious Elstrom and I've not really refined my dodging tactic there. There's a way to do this, as you'll see later, that you can actually dodge pretty much all of them by just strafing side to side and being a bit closer in. I think that is a way to just dodge all of this foolishness as well. Just be a bit closer in, and yes, your tactics and timing need to be a bit better and faster. I think it's works out easier doing it from a bit of a closer range. Let's see where I begin here, and I'm able to somehow corral most of the destructible energy balls into a place where I can actually handle them. I think I've just gotten more fortunate this time. I'm not getting blindsided by the homing energy blasts. Now come the optic blasts as well as the shockwave attacks. And as you can see, I'm a bit closer in this time. Just a little bit closer in. So timing, charged dodge for when I'm a bit further away. Still timing's that little bit off. There we go again. And there it is. I've outlasted the bullet hell, and now we're in the final stretch. We're getting those optic blasts, but they have plot armor. Here comes the shockwave attack, so we can get in. And there it is. It's over. And that's your boy, the Claymore Minotaur, JJ, concluding another Furi boss battle in this Furi boss run. Y'all need to check out them J breaks. Y'all need to check out that description box. Everyone that's in there you need to check. And I'll see you next time. Peace.